Hello and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my buddy David Markey with us from CRCIT. Good afternoon, David. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Thank you for having us.
Just living the dream, brother. Thanks for coming on. So let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit about what the company does.
Sure. So CRCIT is a true technology partner for small to medium businesses. Essentially, what we do for you is everything from cybersecurity to order and procurement. We basically handle all your help desk, everything all in one. And we also help companies with compliance. So if they have industry regulation they have to follow, we actually help build out their compliance reports. One of the big things that we specialize, though, is cybersecurity, and that kind of sets us apart from the pack. That's our primary focus. So.
I really liked that because, as we joked before, when I worked at the bank, I was a CIO because I sat closest to the server and I knew it was a server. But when you get into the compliance and the securities, that would keep me up at night. I'm like, it's only a matter of time before something happens. So I needed people like you, David, come in, tell me where my risks are. Let's put together a plan, because if I don't and something happens, then someone else is going to realize that I was the CIO because I sat closest to the server and I knew it was one. That's not what you want in a banking or any environment, to be honest. So you can work with people to identify those risks, put the plan together so that they can implement it.
Absolutely. So we really start here in Massachusetts specifically. We have CMR 17, which requires all businesses that deal with any personal information. And they basically deem personal information as anything that's like first name, last name, address, phone number, any combination of pieces of information that can identify people within the Commonwealth of Mass. So CMR 17 is really the baseline for all businesses. So you do have to have that requirement of a written information security plan. So we actually will help businesses walk through that, build out a risk assessment, build out their security plan that are a part of those requirements. And then we can dive into further regulations that are available. For example, there are new FTC rules for auto dealers, excuse me. So if you have those requirements, we help walk you through that, as well as any CMMC compliance, NIST, ISO, all of those. So we basically build the framework for you with our cybersecurity plans, where we actually implement software and tools and tasks within your network and system. And then we back that up with the compliance aspect and help you become compliant within the industry. So when we say we're a true technology partner, we really cover the full gambit, all the way down to order and procurement, helping you build out lifecycle management plans for your business, IT budgets, so that you're thinking about things that most people don't normally think about in business. For example, if you have a slow computer in your business and it's costing an employee 10 minutes of time a day, that can compound throughout the year. And our normal recommendation is between 3 and 5 years to replace a machine, but that can actually turn into you having more cost in lost time from that employee than it would have for you to replace that machine in the first place. So it's actually beneficial for businesses to go through and learn these things and learn about lifecycle management and how to build a budget for IT, because it actually saves you money on the back end, especially if you're willing to put forth those things like new machines and keeping up with your security. It can also prevent you from having fines from the government as well. If you have data leaks, they don't charge you for the entire data leak. They charge you by record. So if you have 3,000 customers, that can be up to $5,000 per customer as a leak. So you can imagine a small business that deals with that many customers. You can very quickly find yourself in the $15 million fine range over not having simple cybersecurity. And the reality is that a lot of this is a fractional cost of what it would be to actually hire an employee and implement this for yourself when you outsource it with a company like us.
It makes sense to put together a plan. I know it's something we struggled with. We would just pretty much buy PCs when one broke, and like I said, it just wasn't a good strategy, because there was some like, David, don't sit in that queue because that PC is old and you can boot it up, go get a coffee, walk down the street to Dunks and get a donut and come back and it will be on maybe,
Yep.
You just, to your point, you see that people like, oh, it's going to take a minute. No, it really shouldn't take 2 minutes for you to, to update an Excel file and stuff. Need, by having that plan in place, for a CFO, it helps to manage the cost. We're like, what, David, I have to swap out 20 PCs this month and hit the income statement for that. Like, that's going to hurt. By having a plan where we'll constantly roll them out, you just make a budget for it and it's a budget item.
Exactly. And, for example, a customer with like 20 machines, you can bracket it out so that your first year you're replacing 5. The next year you're replacing 5. Next year replacing 5. And by the time you're implementing this life cycle management plan, you're on year 4, you're ready to start moving into replacing the first 5 you did. And like I said, as long as you have that budgeted and you understand where you're actually saving the money with that, it's very important.
Yep. So David, what's the best way for people to reach out to? How can they learn more?
Perfect. Yeah, you can actually find us in a couple different places. You can see me on Instagram. I'm David Defeats Goliath, going after all the hackers out there. So that's really the plug for that. You can also find us on LinkedIn. We have a cybersecurity tech tip blog that we post twice weekly on. You've actually shared some of that, Kevin. As well as if you're interested in services for CRCIT, you can go to CRCITnow.com. That's spelled CRCIT now.com. And we do have some great information on the website, as well as some forms you can fill out for our sales team to actually reach out and talk to you about our services.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes calling to the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you.